Hello and welcome to Fourthborn Productions plugin reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing the Waterfall Rotary plugin by Universal Audio. Upon first glance of this plugin, we're essentially looking at a software aiming toward emulating that famous Leslie rotary speaker sound, which was originally designed for organs in 1941. Of course, you can add this effect to guitar, synth, vocals, strings, bass guitar, drums, and whatever else. Here's the plugin right here. We can see the visual on this plugin is a simple yet aesthetically pleasing showing of the amp itself. You can see the horns and the drums spinning. We have that vintage and warm studio background, which kind of encapsulate the era that this was invented in 1941, originally as the Leslie organ speaker. It looks like the original 40-watt tube amp as well, just right in the corner there. That's powering two speakers, one aimed up toward the horns, not sure what size, and then a bigger, more mid-range speaker aiming down toward the drum. So our first feature here is the mechanical noise. Now you can only hear this when we push the rotary speaker into high gear. So turn that up so you can hear that spinning. So they don't actually affect the sound of the spinning with the speed and trim and accelerating, decelerating knobs. That's okay. It's not that deep, but good to know. The second feature is a volume knob, which is obviously emulating this tube amp, which is a two knobber. We got the drive and the volume. Yeah, it's gonna act like a tube amp. The more you crank this volume, it's gonna activate the tubes more and it's gonna break up a bit more, and then the drive obviously is causing more of that breakup and saturation. So let's see how they did with the analog warmth of that. Jumps. Pretty nice. It's pretty nice and warm. I'm gonna go gradually from 1 to 10 to give you an idea of it better. Nice. So next up we have the drive knob. Let's see how that sounds with the volume on mid-range. Turn the drive up halfway. So as you can hear, that breaks up pretty good. We're getting a lot of that warmth from the tube breakup once we kick in the drive. We'll sit it around 7. The volume on halfway, give us a good idea. So our next feature is the acceleration, deceleration. Yeah, I don't really notice much of a change with the acceleration, deceleration knob. You see we'll turn the balance to the horn. And then kind of kick in and out. It's kind of like whipping more. Kind of like, yeah, I guess just more of an acceleration effect. More torque, I guess, in the motor. Because that's that. It's almost like a wet knob to me, it feels like. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. And then speed, you can up the speed of the horn and drum, which is cool. You can't do that with the original. You can't actually change the speed, I don't think, in variables with the original Leslie speaker. It just has the two options for slow and fast. So that's kind of cool that they added that feature into this plugin just to give you more control over, lining up your rotary effect to your tempo if you wanted to. We're just gonna go 2 o'clock for all this. Just to kind of give a rough idea. So the fast and the break and the slow option. which is your original, options for the original Leslie speaker. For the purpose of this video, we're pretty much sticking with fast. I'm going to go to the slow option with what we have set up now, just to give you an idea of what that sounds like. I'll go to the chorus, which is a more full guitar sound. That's on break. Slow. Well, I actually like the slow option. You can't hear the mechanical noise with slow. And honestly, you can barely hear it with fast as well. I mean, it's really just an ambient noise thing if you have like a break in the action. Yeah, so you got your on-off switch as well. Just shades everything out and turns off your plugin. Next up, we have our mics and mic positions plus our balance knob. So very useful, very cool, especially if you're into that, really specified sort of thing. Like if you're really quite an audio engineer and you like your microphones and the option to position things, and it's really cool. So like obviously this is going to be a lot more of a stereo effect if you're going right on the sides here, but you're losing some of that high-end tinge, which is also good because it is pretty like harsh, right? When you're going direct on like that with the stereo. And if you go in mono, you're just in mono at that point, so it's a tremolo essentially at that point, right? It really affects everything. It's kind of out of phase as well, so you would even maybe want to decrease that stereo width a little bit, but that's up to you. In terms of mics, we have the condenser 414, which is I believe the AKG C414 condenser mic, which are great mics. Now you notice I have the balance just on horn right now, just to get those microphone tones right down. So those are the AKG C14s in stereo. For the purpose of testing the mics, I'm just going to keep it in stereo. The condenser 84, these are Neumann KM184s. So those sound. 84s are warmer, but they are nicer mics. So they did a good job of emulating that. The condenser 87s are Neumanns as well, but they're large diaphragm Neumanns. Nice and warm. The Sennheiser MD421 2s are dynamic mics, and let's see how warm they sound. They've got to sound warmer. Yeah, those sound great. The classic 57. That's some 57s. Honestly, the 57s are my favorite so far, but that's just because they're smoothing out a lot of that high-end harshness. Ribbon microphone. This is a Coles 4038 ribbon microphone broadcasting mic. Oh, that sounds really good. That's my favorite for sure so far. Tube 67 is another Neumann U67. This one's from 1960. This is probably going to take the cake. This is the nicest mic, I think. Yeah, we got a lot more of that high-end harshness, but it's not as harsh with the 67s. So you've got that high-end, but without the harshness. So I would keep those, which are objectively, I'm pretty sure, the better mic. I'm not a gear freak, but like, I'm assuming they saved the best for last. It's a tube mic as well, which are generally a lot better. All right, so for the drum mics, we have off to the side or right in the middle, and this is just in a mono position. So off to the side, you're going to be losing a bit more of the high end there. and in the middle it's going to be direct. First mic there is the Condenser 87, which is a Neumann U87 large diaphragm microphone. That's super warm. Very nice. Next up, we have the Dynamic Electro Voice RE20 microphone. Really, really nice. Nice and warm. That drum speaker, super warm. It really adds to that high end, right? So that next one was in the IFET7 Sound Deluxe microphone. The IFET7. And then the next one, we have the FET47, which is a Neumann U47. FET is a field effect transistor. It just offers better transparency in the microphone, less noise, more representative of what's actually happening in the room, right? Nice. The Tube 67. Sounds great. I'm gonna go with the RE20. I'd like the warmth. It's definitely the warmest. I know this is high end. I want that warmth, but let's see what happens when we balance it. Yeah, that sounds great. Just a little bit pushed toward the drum microphone. It lowers that stereo image because it's so wide. No, I was wrong. Actually, this is actually perfect when you have it all balanced. So I just remember when I was just analyzing the horn, that's when I noticed it was out of phase. So that makes sense. So now that we have it mixed, it's really nice. Really nice. Perfect. So there you have it, the Waterfall Rotary Amp Sim by Universal Audio. The pros of this plugin are definitely the true to blue analog warmth they've managed to capture. I really enjoyed that. They did a good job with that, especially with all the different mic options and all of that. The intuitive workflow when dialing in the settings I found was really good. From top left to right to the mic options, it's very laid out quite nicely, I found. And then, yeah, the options for mics and positioning of the mics I thought was good for sure. Some of the cons that I've thought up are the mechanical noise feature is underdeveloped. It only runs with fast speed and isn't linked to the other speed variable knob. I would have also liked to see more options for mic positions, specifically for the drum mono microphone. Maybe even just to have an option to have it 2 feet back, get a bit more of the room sound or what have you, just like even to affect the tonal properties, get a little bit more of that low end, a bit more tamed. And maybe like a millisecond or BPM indicator on the speed and trim knob would have been nice. The value for the price on this plugin is questionable-ish. It is a specified amp sim, so I imagine a lot of money went into it. The list price is at $200, which is a bit high, but it's on sale right now for $39. The sale price seems more reasonable to me, given what it is. It's like a one-trick pony kind of plugin. It is nice. You can add it subtly to tracks to add that spatial kind of element. Yeah, not to mention a lot of organ virtual instruments do come with built-in rotary effect options. So you don't necessarily need to buy this standalone plugin if you're trying to get that organ effect. You're probably going to have the option to do that in your virtual instrument anyways. Of course, this plugin is going to get you that more vintage rotary sound effect, given that it is realistically simulating an old Leslie speaker from out of a real studio. So there you have it, the Waterfall Rotary Speaker by Universal Audio. I'm going to give this plugin a 7 out of 10 for visual representation, 9 out of 10 for analog realism, and a 7 out of 10 for value for price, giving it a total of 7.6 out of 10. If I were recording like a solo folk artist or a bluegrass artist, I think this plugin would be a cool flavor to add to a piece of old-timey work. Although application specific, the plugin is great. They did a great job with it. It'd be a great one to add to your arsenal. I do recommend it in general. Alright guys, I've been Fourthborn Productions with my plugin review of the Waterfall Rotary Speaker